Okay, I've been asked to work problem 11 from the 2.8 homework. We're going to end up graphing this circle, but we're going to have to get it into the other form first. And that means we're going to rearrange this and we're going to end up completing the square twice. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my x's side by side. So x squared plus 6x plus, I'm leaving myself a little blank right here because I'm going to fill that in once I complete the square, plus, now I'm going to put my y's side by side, y squared plus 6y plus, and again, I'm going to leave a blank because I'm going to complete the square. And you want your constant, this 9, on the other side. So this is going to equal -9. And then I'm going to add the same two numbers here and again here. So I'm going to, whatever I add right here, I'm going to add here. And whatever I add here, I'm going to add here. Now, how do we know what to add? Remember that to find what I call the magic number when you're completing the square is you take the number in front of your x, or your y in this case. And since it's the same number, this is going to be useful. You take it and you divide it by 2, which gives you a 3. And then you take this result and you square it and you get a 9. So what do I add right here? A 9. And if I add a 9 here, I add a 9 here. Now, on a lot of these problems, you would have a different number right here, and you would have to do another calculation. But we don't have that here. We have the same number, which means I'm adding the same thing. So +9 and +9. You don't need the 2 pluses. Okay, now these should be perfect square trinomials. And they will factor as you take the square root of x squared, so that's x. You use this sign, plus, and you use the square root of this value, 3. And then that whole thing is squared. Keep this plus sign right here. And this happens to be the same thing except y instead of x, so it's going to factor the same way. Okay, and this is going to equal, now -9 and 9 canceled out, so I still have a 9. So this is the first part of number 11. They ask you to transform it. And then they ask you to find the center and the radius. The center is always hk. So let's figure out what our h and k are. Our h is going to be, remember this, you use the opposite sign here. Your h is going to be -3. And so your k is also -3. And then your radius is always the square root of this number. So your radius is 3. So your center is always hk. So it is -3, -3. And your radius is 3. Now, what we're supposed to do now is to graph this circle. So I have some graph paper right here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the center, -3, -3. So -3, -3 would be right here. Now I know my radius is 3, so I'm going to move 3 units away from this in every major direction. So here, 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 and here. Okay. And now you would just draw your best round thing, but since I have a cheater right here, a template, I'm going to use that to get a decently drawn circle. And that would complete problem number 11.